Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Sri Vrajamandala Parikrama, Vrindavana, the temples of Sri Vrindavana. Sri Madana Mohana. Maharaja Vajranabha installed the three deities of Sri Govinda, Sri Gopinatha and Sri Madana Mohana in Sri Dhama Vrindavana. In time, due to the oppression of the barbarians, the priests hid these deities in various places and fled. Vrindavana turned into a dense forest. It has already been described how Sri Govinda Deva reappeared after many years by the endeavors of Sri Rupa Goswami. We will briefly now describe how Sri Sanatana Goswami manifested Sri Madana Mohana. Sometimes in the morning, Sri Sanatana Goswami walked the 16 miles from Vrindavana to Govardhana to perform the 14-mile-long Parikrama of Govardhana. From there, he would walk another 16 miles to Mathura to collect alms, Madhukari, and then again walk back to his Bhajana Kuti in Vrindavana. One day he came to the house of a Chaube Brahmana in Mathura for alms. What did he see there? In the house of the Chaube, two beautiful boys were playing the game Gulli Danda. Madana, the restless, fidgety boy with the dark bluish complexion, defeated the son of the Chaube. Madana climbed upon the shoulders of the defeated boy and enjoyed a horse ride. But when the Chaube's son defeated Madana the second time they played, it was his turn to enjoy a ride on Madana's shoulders. Madana ran into the temple room. Seeing this, the son of the Chaube angrily abused and pursued him. He wanted to enter the temple, but the priest scolded him and chased him away. Pointing his finger at Madana, who had turned into the deity, the son of the Chaube said, "You just wait, I will see you tomorrow." The scene amazed Sri Sanatana Goswami. The next day he arrived a little earlier at breakfast time, desiring to again have darshana. Although she had not yet taken bath, the Chaubain was making khichdi for both boys who were sitting waiting for their breakfast. Maya was brushing her teeth with one end of a stick and was stirring the khichdi with the other end. When she had finished cooking, she served the boys the hot khichdi in bowls, cooling it by blowing it down with her own mouth. The boys were relishing this khichdi with great love. Sanatana Goswami could not tolerate her improper conduct. "Maya, it is not proper to cook khichdi without taking bath, to stir it with a stick to use to brush your teeth, and then to serve this contaminated breakfast to the boys." The Chauben realized her mistake and replied, "Baba, from tomorrow I will be clean when I cook and serve the boys their breakfast." Sri Sanatana Goswami wanted to see some more pastimes of this deity of Sri Madana Mohana. So on the third day he went there again. Breakfast was delayed that day because Maya was taking bath. She then had to clean the pots. The hungry boys were demanding breakfast. Maya pacified them, and after completing her morning chores, she started cooking khichdi. The two boys were pulling on her cloth and insisting on eating at once. Sanatana Goswami was unable to tolerate this. He approached her and said, "Maya, there is no need for you to be clean by bathing. If this Madana is pleased with your unclean and impure breakfast, then you should do as such. I've committed an offense at your feet. From tomorrow you should do whatever you think is proper to satisfy them." Just as Sanatana Goswami was about to leave, the boy Madana came out of the temple room and said, "Baba, I will come with you." But Sri Sanatana Goswami replied, "I am a completely renounced person. I have neither a place to live nor any arrangement to cook palatable food. If even Yashoda Maya could not completely satisfy you, how can I take care of you?" The child Madana nonetheless insisted on coming with him. Sanatana Goswami said, "If you really want to come, then you will have to follow me on foot. I cannot carry you on my shoulders." The boy said, "I will walk behind you, but do not turn around along the way to look at me. You can look at me only at your bhajana kuti." When Sanatana Goswami had reached his bhajana kuti, he turned around and saw the boy Madana smile and change into his deity form. Sanatana Goswami constructed an altar by putting a board on top of a few stones and seated him there. Every day he would cook some balls of dough without salt on live coals and offer them to the deity. One day, as Sanatana Goswami was making his offering, Madana Mohanaji asked him for some salt. Sanatana Goswami would happily have given salt if only he had some, but there was no salt in his hut. Madana Mohanaji told him, "I am not able to swallow this dry dough ball." Upon hearing this, Sanatana Goswami began to repent. At that time, Krishnadasa Kapura, a rich merchant from the Multana province, happened to be travelling along the Yamuna carrying valuable articles for trade in large boats. As the boats approached Sanatana Goswami's Bhajana Kuti, they got stuck in the sand. Despite several efforts, the boats could not be released from the sand. The merchant came ashore and saw the extremely beautiful deity of Sri Madana Mohana in front of the hut. Sitting down on the invitation of Sanatana Goswami, the merchant began to weep and lament to him about his situation. In his mind, he firmly vowed, "As soon as my boats are freed from the sand, I will construct a beautiful temple for Sri Madana Mohana with the profits I make from this journey." The moment he resolved this, his boats were dislodged by themselves and started drifting again. He made an enormous profit from his trade, and on the inspiration of Sri Sanatana Goswami had a huge temple constructed for Sri Madana Mohana. However, Sri Sanatana Goswami entrusted all the arrangements of service, worship, offering and so forth to the priests and again began performing Madhukari in Vraja. In this way, he maintained his life by living under a different tree every night and performing rigid sadhana bhajana. After the disappearance of Sri Sanatana Goswami from this material world, Aurangzeb, who was inimical to the Hindus, desecrated this temple in 1670 AD, destroying the dome and other parts. Before he did this, Madana Mohanaji and other deities of Vrindavana had already been moved to Jaipura. Nowadays, Madana Mohanaji resides in Karauli. In 1748 AD, a Pratibhu Vigraha of Madana Mohana was established here. Then, in 1819 AD, Sri Nandalala Vasu constructed the present temple. The ancient handwritten books Seva Prakatya and Ishtalabha mention that Sanatana Goswami obtained Sri Madana Gopala from Parikrama Chaube of Mahavana in Samvat 1590, 1534 AD, and re-established the deity's service and worship in the same year on Shukla Dvitiya, the second day of the bright moon of Magha, January-February. He entrusted the duties of the service and worship to Krishnadasa Brahmachari. At that time, there was no deity of Sri Radhika with Sri Madana Mohana. Sri Purushottama Jana, the father of King Prataparudra of Orissa, arranged with great faith to send two deities of Radha from Puri Dhama to Vrindavana. Sri Madana Mohana informed the priest in his dream. The taller of the two deities from Puri is Lalitaji and the shorter is Radhaji. You should place the deity of Radhika on my left side and the deity of Lalita on my right side. It is mentioned in Bhakti Ratnakara that Sri Sanatana Goswami built a temple for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the southern part of Sri Madana Mohana's temple. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not come to Vrindavana a second time. In the new temple, Radhika stands on Sri Madana Mohana's left side and Lalita stands on his right side. A Shaligrama Shila is also there and Sri Jagannatha presides in a separate room, Prakoshta. Places of darshana near the old temple are Sri Sanatana Goswami's Bhajana Kuti, Samadhi and the Grantha Samadhi. Thank you. Hare Krishna.